Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. I have missed 3 days in a row. Today is the fourth day. I don't know if you can tell from my voice, but it's because I fell ill. I was here for 2 days. I roamed around a lot in the sun. Well, I mean in ACs, but through the sun, I guess. I guess I put a lot of pressure on myself and I fell ill. And I woke up on the third day in the morning with a fever. And I don't know if it's still gone. 3 days continuously, I had fever. I don't take meds, so I fasted on the first day till 5 p.m. And in general, I've just been eating less and less frequently and waiting for this to go on its own because I don't like taking meds. So my voice is still not perfect. It's still soft. I hope you can hear me. Um, I will um, talk about my a brief overview. I'll give a very brief overview of my experience over the last 3 days, and then talk about the verse. I'm going to catch up with all of them, and so I need to do four. Either do four today, which might be a lot, but I might do at least two today and two tomorrow, two day after, something like that to catch up. Or I might do four today. It doesn't. I don't know for sure. But this verse right now was pretty intense to read, and they are getting intense right now. They are getting really, really good. I, I want to spend a lot of time ideally reading them, but I don't have the willpower or the strength to do that. I can, I should. It's not like I'm doing anything else too much, but yeah, I'm doing the best I can, and I'm grateful that I'm doing this every day, minus these 3 days. So yeah, I do want to ask for forgiveness to whoever it is. I don't know who I should ask for forgiveness from for missing out the 3 days. This is the first time I've ever missed out, and I've not given notice in advance that I'm going to be missing. I just fell ill, and I just didn't have the. My voice was gone almost immediately, and I didn't have the courage to get up and even say I'm going to be missing. So, forgive me. Um, So the last 3 days, yeah, if you want to get to the verse, you can just scroll to the right until you see the screen sharing, because I'm going to be just talking a little bit before that. So the last 3 days, it's been intense. I have not I could have wasted time, I guess, and not thought about things, but I have been contemplating or feeling, not so much only thinking, but feeling a lot over the last 3 days, and I'm just allowing myself to go through the process that I've been going through. And I have thought very intensely and intently contemplated on these concepts of love, trust, and pain. Because I was talking to someone about pain um, just the day before I left for India. And I mean, they provided a very unique perspective to me, which was pretty good. And I have thought about, and plus, of course, I'm surrounded by amazing people on Facebook who also talked about it. And I was like, on the other side of great pain is great love. And in order to get to great love, we need to feel great trust and open ourselves up to great pain. I don't know if it's absolutely necessary to feel pain in order to feel great love, maybe, but I feel like it's necessary to at least allow ourselves to be open to that, and definitely allow ourselves to be open to great trust. So over the last maybe over a year, maybe year and a half or so, I have allowed myself great trust 3 times, and I've had my heart broken in quick succession. And it's been, I'm feeling I'm feeling something right now that's different from how I've been feeling. I don't know. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to say how it's going to be or where it's going to lead. Or, life is not linear. It goes up and down and this and the left and right and sideways and all over the place. But the trust that I've given people has not been for them. It's been for me. I've been called naive, and I've resented that a lot. And I believe that the trust I give is for myself. The trust I give is to access depths of me that I would not be able to access if I did not give that trust. And plus, when I give trust or when I give something to people, then I um, create that in the person as well. People behave the way that you expect them to behave in a way, right? You draw out of them what you expect to draw out of them. So yeah, I have thought about this and I felt it. It's gone into my knowingness because I'm feeling this difference in me, at least in this moment. Things may change and I might slip and I might whatever, but in this moment, I'm feeling it. So now coming to chapter 2, verse 55. I don't know how it all ties in together. I was reading it and I was like, how does it tie into everything that I've learned in the last 3 days? Oh, because it's been a lot. I can see that when we fall ill, right? There is a reason that we fall ill. It's because there's just so much happening. We just, our body is like, okay, it's emotional. A lot of it, illness is emotional. And our bodies are just like, okay, I need to process this. I can't just continue like this. I need to process this. So I was processing it and it was good. I don't believe in just the germs, like, oh, it's germs and viruses and whatever that cause the fever. No, I believe it's a lot deeper than that. I believe there's a reason for it. And I needed to process. And I'm glad I did. I'm really glad I did. I feel clearer and lighter now. Okay, so I'm going to sing verse 55. I hope you can hear me. So verse 54 was Arjun speaking, and he said, people who are sthita pragya or intelligence, situated in wisdom and situated in intelligence, how do they walk, how do they sit, how do they speak, what is the language? He asked a few questions like that. So it was just one verse when he spoke, and then now it's back to Bhagwan Shri Krishna speaking. So the verse is Shri Bhagavan Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan atmanyevatmana tuштah sthita pragyastadochyate. So prajahati yada kaman. Yada is when. So prajahati. Kaman is kamna, is desires. Kamna in Hindi is desire. So Kaman is desire. So Prajahati, when you give up, completely give up all desires, and then Sarvan Parthamanogatan. Sarvan is all. Partha is son of Pritha. Arjun is Arjun's name. Manogatan, coming from the mind. Man actually, man is, from what I understand, is subconscious. So when we completely give up all desires of all varieties that stem from the mind. Not all desires. You do not give up all desires. You do not give up spiritual desires. That's what Chaitanya Charan Prabhu talks about. You give up all desires coming from the mind. Then Atmanevatmana Tushtah. Tushtah is santushti. Santushti in Hindi means peace. So Tushtah means peace, satisfaction, yeah, santosh. Atmanyevatmana. Atmanye, in the pure state of the soul, Atmana, purified by the mind. Then from in the pure state, then you're in the pure state of the soul, you're by the purified mind. Sthita pragya stadochyate. Sthita pragya, transcendentally situated. Then at that time, then it's said that you are transcendentally situated. So his explanations, his commentaries, let me read the whole thing. Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O Partha, when a man gives up all varieties of desires for sense gratification, which arise from the mental, this is the important thing, which arise from mental concoction, when in his mind thus purified finds the satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. Okay, so there are a lot of things here. Let me see if I can. His commentary here is just phenomenal. I would recommend that you read it. The link for the overall Gita Daily website, it's geetadaily.com, is there on my description. Just go to 2.55 and read this thing. I would really recommend reading it. It's very, very good. I'll try to make sure I cover all points here in the video as well, but just in case I miss something, I would recommend you read it. Okay. The word Sthita Pragya appears in this section of the Gita, but it doesn't use, after this, throughout the Gita, he does not use this. Sthita Pragya generally means intelligence, wisdom, and faculty for deep thinking. Oh, I love this so much. Sthita Pragya means that whose intelligence is fixed, whose wisdom is sthir, is Sthita Pragya. So, Prajahati yada kaman, give up completely all desires, all kamnae. Sarvan partha manogatan, desires which originate from the mind. So, yeah, this is where he explains the Atma is self-joyful. So when one situates oneself at the spiritual level, then one experiences joy. It implies, okay, the soul is at the spiritual level, mind is at the subtle level, sense and sense objects are at a gross level. I've seen this before, but I've never really explored it, so I don't really understand it very well. But soul is at spiritual, mind is subtle, sense is at gross. Okay. So when we're talking about sense and sense objects, we feel pleasure and pain. Okay, so what is the meaning of mind looking inward and outward? He explains, mind is a root of consciousness, soul is a root of consciousness. Root is in route of consciousness, soul is at the root of consciousness. Soul is at the seat, it's at the root, and the mind is the path of consciousness. So when the consciousness is channeled through the mind, it can go either outward, but then if we become introspective, then we experience inner happiness. So a person who rejects external pleasures and rejoices in internal pleasures, this person is Sthita Pragya. I'm not sure I'm saying Pragya properly. It might be Prajna or Pragnya or something. I might be saying it in the Hindi word because I don't think this exists in Hindi. It exists in Sanskrit only, and I don't know how to say it properly. Okay, so then he talks about how when we are doing kirtan or deity worship, these seem external, right? So is it just always external versus internal? And he said no. So these, when we're doing deity worship or doing kirtan or whatever, even though it's external, we are doing it because we want to build that internal love for Krishna from inside. So it is still very spiritual, even though it's external. So Krishna is present in our heart, and the same Krishna is manifested externally in various sense objects, for example, deities, holy names, mridanga, etc. So when we focus our consciousness on them, it may seem like we're getting external pleasure from external source, but it's because the pleasure is coming because it is in contact with the soul and Krishna. When we contact Krishna externally, we awaken spiritually, and the more we awaken spiritually, the more we can perceive and relish Krishna internally. This is so good. Okay. So if we're seeking happiness externally, we're materialists. And if we're sthitapragya, we're seeking it internally. Yeah. See, when I'm coughing, my entire body is hurting. My tummy is hurting. My throat is hurting. I try not to cough. Okay. Yeah. So that's it for today. So how does it relate? Let me think. Does it relate to anything that I was thinking about these last few days? I don't know. The things that I was thinking about these last few days are very personal growth oriented, and this is very spiritual growth oriented. And I would love to be able to find a connection, and I feel that there is a connection. I can just feel it. I can feel it. I don't feel like they're disparate. I mean, this particular thing that I was thinking of, love and desire, love and trust and pain. These are the three words that I was contemplating on, versus what he's talking about here, about giving up all external desires. Prajahati yada kaman, when we completely give up all of our kamnai. Yeah, I don't know. I'll keep thinking about it and I will let you know. So I might do more of them, at least one more for sure today to catch up. I don't know if I'll do 2 more or 3 more to catch up all of them, but I will do as many as I can, but I will catch up all of them. And so see you soon. Wish you a very beautiful day. Radhe Radhe.